Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on symmetrical shapes. A shape is symmetrical if it can be folded so that one half fits exactly on top of the other half. The line where the shape is folded is called a line of symmetry. Some books refer to this line as an axis of symmetry. Either one of these descriptions is acceptable. Let's look at some examples. Here is the capital letter A, and you can see if we draw this line vertically, it cuts the shape exactly in half, so that if you fold it along that line, this half sits on that half perfectly and vice versa. So here we have a vertical line of symmetry. The letter D, if we draw that line there, this shape can also be folded, but that is a horizontal line of symmetry. The letter H has a vertical and a horizontal line of symmetry. Okay, so it has two. The letter G, there is no line symmetry there. In other words, you cannot draw any lines on this particular letter where the two halves are exactly the same. You just can't do it. Where they are mirror images of one another. It cannot be done, so there's no line symmetry there. Here are some examples. We've already seen the letter A, and there's the line of symmetry. The shape is said to have line symmetry, but this is a line of symmetry. Here's an interesting shape, and there are many lines of symmetry there. Okay, this shape here definitely has line symmetry, and there are many lines of symmetry. This butterfly, assuming it's exactly the same on both sides, that has line symmetry. That is the line of symmetry or the axis of symmetry. And this square here, this certainly has line symmetry. There are 4 lines of symmetry there. Just assume they go exactly into that dot there, and this square can be folded along any of those lines there. So the number of lines of symmetry depends on the particular shape. How many lines of symmetry do each of the following shapes have? So each of those shapes there has one or more lines of symmetry or one or more axes of symmetry. And our aim is to put the numbers in. So have a look at that for about 10 or 15 seconds, and then we'll have a look at the answers on the next slide. So you work out what numbers should go in each of those positions to tell us how many lines of symmetry each of the shapes have. Now let's go to the next slide to see the answers. So here the heart has one axis or line of symmetry. There it is there. So I've drawn them in. It makes it easier to see them. This arrow here has one line of symmetry. That's very obvious. This is an equilateral triangle, so that has 3 lines or axes of symmetry, and I've drawn them. And this is a rectangle, and it has 2 axes of symmetry or 2 lines of symmetry. Here's an interesting exercise. Write yes for any of the following shapes that have one or more lines of symmetry. Write no for any shapes that have none. So if a shape has one or more axes of symmetry, you write yes. If it doesn't have any, you write no. So have a look at that for 10 seconds, and then I'll go to the next slide for the answers. And here are the answers. Yes, this does have a line of symmetry. That'll be vertical. No, this does not. You cannot draw a line anywhere on this letter to cut it exactly in half. This circle is very interesting because you can draw many lines of symmetry or many axes of symmetry for this circle, as long as they all go through the center. This one does not have any lines of symmetry. You cannot draw a line to divide this into two exactly equal halves. And the oval, the answer is yes. You can go vertically like that, or you can go across like that. So that has two axes of symmetry, so the answer is yes. So your object, your main task was to either write yes or no. So that just gives you an introduction into lines of symmetry, which are also called axes of symmetry.